Blaze, Dehaka again. So those three heroes and the priority that they have within the draft, they are the ones that I watch out for the most. And on the fourth position, I really want to see what happens around Malthael. Are they still ignoring him? Or is that all of a sudden a hero that becomes interesting?
Well, let's go into it. Well, Sky Foundry, game number 4. Zealots on the cusp of getting a big victory over Team Dignitas. Team Dignitas looking to tie it up. First ban. Dig is thinking about it. What do they want to take away from their opponents?
Yeah, so this is the moment where it becomes for me again about the solo lane. I just said the 3 highest prioritized heroes that I want to see, or I want to see how much they have an impact here. And it's a bit similar to what we've seen on Sky, but Dignitas is thinking about an Uther ban here. So I like that in the sense that if they now don't have the first, like, depending on what they first pick, I don't even think they have to first pick a side laner since they have such a high priority on Dehaka, that as long as they pick their own side laner straight afterwards, they can leave Zealots with whatever pick they want to start with. But Tracer is still the ban for Zealots, so they stay true with the game plan that they had when they came into the series. Hanzo banned out, Genji taken. Now I would expect Zealots to at least take Blaze. I would expect them to do that, and I would expect Dignitas on their next rotation to get their Haka. Unless one of the two teams wants to go for Malthael.
The only issue with Dehaka is that there is difficulty trying to get into fights with the amount of fog being available around you.
Miss Calista here with the tweet, Zealots are on fire. Yeah, they are. I mean, think about it. They could win now. They could actually take down Dignitas for the first time 2018.
Honestly, you at home, tweet us, let us know if you truly believe that Zealots were going to beat Dignitas today, because there has to be a small amount of people that actually thought they can get a win here. Yes, maybe a map, but winning the entire thing against Dignitas, I don't think any of you at home believe it. So if you're a Zealots fan, speak up here, let us know, say, you know what, I knew for a fact that Dignitas would get the win, or that Dignitas would lose to Zealots, because I want to see that.
Oh,
Abathur and Blaze
I'm a fan.
coming in for Zealots.
Abathur and Blaze. Okay, as I said, I expected Blaze. Now the question, is Dignitas going to go for Dehaka here? That's kind of what I expected. The more I see, the less I feel Malthael is going to be involved here, so I think Dehaka is now either going to be taken by Dignitas or Zealots are going to ban it out. Especially since they have the support choice, so Dignitas could go into Uther Dehaka, maybe?
Yeah.
That would be a good start, so they have Genji, Dragonblade.
I mean, Dehaka is just naturally good here, helpful against Blaze, helpful against Abathur as well.
Yeah.
He's going to be split pushing on the map.
And then you have Tyrael too, so we might see them with Tyrael instead of Uther here early on. Those 3 heroes would be pretty important, I feel. Malfurion
first.
Very high again.
Wubby, are you going to move into the Dehaka? We're going to get ETC instead, and then we'll be left open.
All right. Neither Dehaka taken, nor Uther. No Dragon Blade with Divine Shield. Malfurion instead. Twilight Dream has been great so far. And this is, again, a setup where you have the power slide into root. So it's more about, okay, lock a target down and get the damage in. And one of the cool things about seeing Malfurion again by Xaylia is his Twilight Dreams just throughout 18 have been crazy.
Yeah.
He single-handedly turned some 3 versus 5 fights. Infernal Shrines, 5 heroes chase 3, and then he turns around, steps up, gets the silence in, and all of a sudden the fight turns.
That was a play of the game, I believe, in week 2. Play one of the top 5s. Yeah. Leo being banned here. This is a battleground you can go to level 20. Level 20 Entomb is pretty terrifying.
Still not what I expected. Shogal incoming. Now, but Leoric is actually interesting because I really thought that they would target Dehaka.
I think Dehaka's limitations due to the amount of fog or bush locations make it a little bit hard to pick him up.
Yeah, but we had so many good drags and isolations, the global that you have.
Yeah, it's still worth.
So even if you lose out on an objective, you can play around that. So it surprises me a bit that they go for Leoric instead. I mean, Leo can be super strong, and we've seen him soak 2 lanes easily. So, but he has fallen off a bit, and the Dehaka priority that we've seen from Dignitas was pretty high. So Leoric banned out, they don't want to deal with him. But that makes me lean even more towards the Dehaka pick from Dignitas side now.
Newbrook banned. Zealots. Need to grab some damage soon. Lenara's up and available, but you have to think about the Abathur mix-up. Greymane, we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
But his base kit's still great with an Abathur. Gives you the dive. We could have Tyrael Greymane here in the rotation. I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Tyrael considering how much they were homing in on him, and he gives you the extra shields. Greymane as a copy on Abathur. I was outside of the Abathur copy to look for. I was also thinking about potentially playing Tychus. We've seen Tychus sneak in a bit more, and Odin can really help you if you're trying to secure the final position for the control point, for the checkpoint.
True. Speaking of transformations, would Ragnaros be a tool here? You got your Molten Core available. You can shell away.
You tell me.
The answer is yes. He's a tool on every battleground. Goldean and Arthas. Speaking of clone targets, Arthas coming in here.
Double Arthas. We haven't seen Arthas in a while.
That is a beefy front line. Abathur hat with Blaze and Arthas. Triple Warrior potentially with Blaze, Arthas, and a cloned Arthas.
I don't know, I just like this because I'm looking at it and I'm like, what if Dignitas loses here?
What's coming out of this?
I mean,
4th and 5th pick.
I know it sounds a bit ridiculous that we are looking at Zealots and it's like, can they really win even though they're already ahead? But if you think how this entire season so far has started, again, before the series started, Dignitas has lost a single map. They have humiliated opponents and they've taken down everybody without ever looking even remotely as if they could lose. And even the series, or the game that Team Liquid won was something where Dignitas was far ahead and Liquid just crawled their way back into it by some great snipes and started the comeback. So now the Zealots, who are currently far down in the rankings, being this far ahead is really impressive. And you just feel that Dignitas at some point just turns it up and says like, just kidding, we got this. So, mightily impressed by the Zealots here today, but I still want to see what Dignitas can now throw against them, and also if the Zealots have the mental strength and really the focus to carry this throughout the entire duration. There's the Haka as expected. Tychus too, expected him in the series, but I thought actually that the Zealots were picking up, but Dignitas does instead, as the Zealots opt for Gul'dan.
Okay, so it's support time. Automatic pickups you can look at. There's Rhaegar, there's Lucio. I actually wouldn't mind an Oriole here, though. And I know Oriole has fallen out pretty dramatically, hard to pick up.
Lucio.
She gives you sustain, gives you control over ETC.
You have Arthas, you have Abathur in there. Give me Lucio.
Yeah, Lucio's definitely the meta pick here.
Zealots have played only one game with Lucio and they lost it. So I'm not sure how confident Chad is in his abilities with him. Rhaegar. They go for Rhaegar. I'm pretty sure, considering how long they waited for that pick, that was exactly the discussion. Are we playing Lucio here, or are we playing Rhaegar? Because as you said, from a meta perspective, Lucio with his ult sound barrier against the Dragonblade, against Genji, speeding up Arthas. Also Abathur as a head on Lucio if you want to chase someone down, would just have been the pick. But then it might seriously have just been to ask Chad, okay, are you confident enough that you're good enough on Lucio to make that? And then they were thinking probably about Cleanse as well. That's another aspect that you have to think about. So they decide in favor of Rhaegar as we are heading into our 4th map.
Our 4th map here, and it's going to be a good one. Volskaya Foundry, new Volskaya Foundry, so new Protector will be in play. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on how the pros will utilize that and be effective with it, and of course teach us at home how to use it as a team. But still, going into game number 4, Zealots have a chance here to earn the win over Team Dignitas and set themselves up for a possibility to continue going the Western Clash. Today, I thought that possibility would be snuffed out, but Zealots, they had different plans here, and they are ready for game number 4. Are you, Kaldor?
I hope so.
Let's do it. Let's go.
I'm definitely hyped for it. Game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Zealots ahead against Team Dignitas, and that's the first time that Dignitas find themselves behind in the series in 2018. Snitch on Genji, Whoopi on Dehaka, Zelia on Malfurion, Poik on Tychus, and JPL on ETC.
On the right side in the red, Zarmany playing Blaze, Chris playing Gul'dan, Chad playing Rhaegar, Arthas played by Mopsio, and Abathur will be played by ADRD. And speaking about ADRD, I got a tweet from Noob Slicer. Of course, Zealots were going to win against Dig. They have the ADRD factor. That's something you do have to consider, honestly, moving into these matches.
Yeah, but we haven't seen any comps that are too crazy just yet. But small, subtle changes that definitely play a part in how they are performing right now. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the team today. They look better than they ever have, and it absolutely shows. So this is an opportunity for the Zealots to take a 3-1 victory over their opponent here. We're going to find out very quickly if they can make that happen. So far, the Zealots have played very disciplined, and we are going into game number 4 to find out if they can do it once again.
Curious to see how Zealots will manage to handle Tychus. As you mentioned, Odin. Great around control points, especially when you can pinch your opponent into forcing a fight. Odin gets more value in that situation. Can Zealots lock him down while they have a Genji? Sharking around looking for a Gul'dan kill. That's a real question for us, and we don't get to find that out until level 10, but it is certainly something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, also with Abathar now going straight for a symbiote build, Arthas is going to be such a monster later on. That's definitely one of the things that Dignitas has to be afraid of a bit. The double Arthas alone is already brutal, and do you know, if you talk about Blaze again, I mean, once we have those checkpoints in play, securing the position with Bunker can really be the play that changes all of this out. So I feel it's going to be extremely important to see how Zarmani performs and when he uses the Bunker, not only to make sure that they're securing the checkpoint, but also, as you said, the jump on Gul'dan is going to be super important for Dignitas, and that's something where Blaze can help Gul'dan out and just keep him alive long enough for the rest of the team to secure him.
And Blaze just staying worried about staying alive here. He picked up the level 1 Adrenaline Stim Pack. That movement speed will allow for him to get away from Tychus whenever he pops his trait. Or, of course, help out with the attack speed. It's double-folded in that way.
This is also the first time that the Zealots play Gul'dan in 2018. So Chris has not played. Yeah, they haven't played the hero yet. They're the only team, actually, that hasn't played Gul'dan in Europe yet.
Because we had a lot of Gul'dan from Chris last year in 2017.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course he's played Gul'dan. I know he can play Gul'dan.
I mean, we of course know it's in his in his hero pool, but as with Fnatic not playing Dehaka, they are the only team that hasn't played Gul'dan yet up to this series. So this is the first time that we're seeing within a new roster of Zealots Gul'dan having an impact on the composition.
We'll see if it pays off here, as our first control point will unlock in about 30 seconds. The first protector will be online and available. Who will grab it here? In terms of control and sustain, Zealots have a pretty good comp here between Blaze and Arthas being able to keep themselves alive and Rhaegar to back them up. And Abathur can soak the opposing lane, so Zealots should be able to focus on the control point, but that's also an issue too. Abathur not being there means that Team Dignitas has a quick 5v4.
Talking about control, we have also Zealots now with Prolific Dispersal on level 4 for Abathur, and that's a really good tool if you want to control the map. If you first of all want to slow down rotations, but more so if you want to keep track on what your opponent is doing.
Yes, being able to drop those little mines everywhere, very annoying. Cooldown reduced. And you can also pick up talents to slow down your opponent as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. A build coming in from ADRD. He also is a fan of being the Abathur that puts 10 mines in a bush and they walk through and get blown up.
Yeah, the bait.
Yes, so we might see that from him too. He's been one of the only Abathurs in Europe to do that often.
He's done it a lot on Dragonshire in particular. That was the map where he always around the shrines is trying to use that particular trap, and successful at times as well. As they're now heading in for the checkpoint though. JPL currently with the healing pulse, already using it. They're starting to go in, and there's the potential kill against Blaze. Zarmani wants to go out, but he dies, and that's the opening for Dignitas that they were looking for.
Shad was hoping to come in and give a heal, but Wobby was able to land a tongue to prevent Rhaegar from giving said heal. And Blaze down for 10 seconds. Zealots will spread out and give up some shots and potentially this protector.
Now, when we're talking about Abathur, I don't really expect him to go for that particular set of traps, just simply because he didn't go into the extra damage on level 1. So the only talent that we have for Toxicness is the level 4, and that's the most important one if you want to keep your eyes on the map. If you want to slow down rotations, you want to dismount opponents, and you want to make sure that you know where they are. But here we have now the first protector. And this is still the early protector, of course. The Zealots are going to try and fight for those a bit more heavily once that they have their level 10 with Abathur and can go for the copy. But in an ideal world for Dignitas, they would of course try and use this now to get a bit farther ahead in experience and take a lead. Yeah,
this is one of the changes too. Whenever you have 2 pilots in the protector, you now get armor popped in to make it a little bit harder to focus down. You are committing 2 heroes in there, so Blizzard wanted to make sure that you felt a little bit more powerful, so that 10 armor will be helpful. The turret wall has been broken And we will have Team Dignitas take a jump in lead at 9.5 here to 8 3/4 against the Zealots.
Yeah, and they get another tower. Easy peasy. So right now just trying to get ahead. And you can tell that's already the case. Nearly by an entire level. They are closing in on level 10s. So the Protector really working out for them. 4 towers completely destroyed. So that's a bit of extra experience. It's an early level 10. Zealots will have to sit tight for now. Make sure that they get their own heroic abilities and then play around that. Grilling kill, by the way, also on 27 stacks now, so the level 7 talent for Zarmany on Blaze coming into play. And this is one of the talents that, again, in the later fights around the checkpoints is going to give them a huge boost. So this is exactly what you want when there's a single objective on the map. Controlling the area is the most important part.
Yeah, too many folks look at that talent and they think about the damage, and the damage isn't why you're picking that up. Yes, it's great, but it's the extra 2 seconds, the duration of the oil spill being on the ground ignited. It's just so good for control, as Kato were just mentioning. So a lot of people always wonder, why do we get that grill and kill? The damage isn't really that much, and you're right in that regard, but being able to have that control and being able to lock down a target, but also give yourself healing, it pays off way too well.
Exactly. Sustain with all the heroes that we have here. Arthas, Blaze, seeing also Rhaegar, and then of course the copy through Abathur. That's going to be super important here. And I really want to see how the next phase, how the next objective is going to run, because now they have their tools. They have their level 10, and that's really where the game changes. For Dignitas, of course, too, since we're now seeing them with Odin, with Mosh Pit. And with a good Mosh Pit on the side of JPL, this could be fantastic here. There are a couple of interrupts around, but the most important one definitely going to be Gul'dan.
Dignitas will have to make sure they're a little bit disciplined when they move into the fight against Zealots with that bunker being available. If 2 or 3 people jump into that bunker and Dignitas tries to collapse on it, they naturally will group up, which will give a good Horrify over to Zealots. But it's Dignitas. They're probably aware of that, and they'll be nice and careful whenever they do move in for that fight or try to poke it down. And those, the next Protector should be up pretty soon here. Our teams are prepping for that by grabbing the turrets that are available on their side of the map. Zealots have already grabbed theirs, and they could position aggressively to move in against Dignitas, who has just now started theirs.
Yeah, Healing Pulse also picked up by Zelia here. So we have that on the side of Team Dignitas as well. They have taken the turret too. And still fairly close here, but the real problem for Zealots is again that level 13 talent that we could soon see for Dignitas. So of course with Abathur, if they can stall out a fight at the top, he could take control over the bot lane and soak some extra experience as long as the Haka isn't anywhere nearby. But that's of course the big problem, because as long as the fight hasn't really started, the Haka will try and stay at the bot lane for as long as he can to not give Abathur the opportunity to soak the XP.
Exactly here, and we'll see if he controls that. The next control point will be up in 22 seconds. With Merc Camps pushing in the top side, Team Dignitas is working to get level 13. They'll be able to grab that in the middle. Zealots a little bit behind the experience. We'll have to work a little bit harder to grab it, but it's okay. You don't have to immediately fight on the control point if you don't have the resources to do so. And right now, with 13 not being available, I would expect Zealots to play a little bit safer here.
And also a gank setup at the bot lane. We're seeing Dignitas in a situation where they are looking to see, okay, they were waiting for a rotation of Blaze, but that didn't happen yet. Now Abathur is going to soak some experience down to the bottom of the map. In the mid lane, we have Zarmany, and it is actually the Zealots with the talent disadvantage that are currently taking the top spot. But here comes Whoopi, misses isolation. Ah, that's a big cooldown burned already, so a nice spot for Zealots to be in.
Yeah, was looking to land on Rhaegar so we could turn around and drop the drag. So we'd be able to get Gul'dan. Missing out on that allowed for Shad to cleanse out the drag that hit on Chris, but cleanse is down. Team Dignitas moves up, starts to grab the control point. They are now matching their opponent 24 to 23.
And there's the 13, and that means so much transference for Abathur. So all of a sudden, it's a lot of survivability that we have on the target for the Symbiote. Turrets are already on the ground as we have the position being fought over again. Zarmany needs to be careful. Yes, Mopsio is already low. He gets the head of Abathur. And we see ADRD at the bot lane moving immediately into experience range to try and close that gap. But Odin has been popped by Poik as Dignitas is making their move for the checkpoint.
And Zealots back up immediately. The moment Odin is popped, they do not want to fight this, so they'll do what they can in terms of corruption and drop some damage here and there. But Poik has full control over the area, especially with an HGC sitting in front of him and controlling the area. That's going to be Dignitas getting the second protector of the game as Zealots back away and clear out the lane so they can focus on defense.
Yeah, they give it up. The Haka has moved down to the bot lane and ADRD just barely moving out of range. So now at the top we have Malfurion and Tychus again in the protector. and they get attacked right away here by the rest of Team Zealots. So Abathur still doing his best to soak the lanes. The second objective in the hands of Dignitas, and they are making their play for the fort, and very likely to take this one down.
Yeah, should be an easy four here. Sieging up the big ball of lightning, chunking it down where they can, using the turret as well to jump in from. Dignitas will allow for them to secure it. Momsio doing what they can to help out the damage, but 2 forts could go down here as seeing Dignitas heads towards the middle lane, and they'll be looking to do what they can here. With the Protector, it's what, around half health? Yeah, there it is. As Wubby continues to sit in the bottom.
It's wrecking, and Dignitas is getting farther and farther ahead in experience. Keep in mind, they have only a single kill. Only 1 kill in the early game. That's all that Dignitas got, and that was on the first objective when there was no ultimate evolution around. He has again a jump onto Blaze, but he's able to drop the bunker in time. But Dignitas is now homing in on level 16. They are really starting to walk away with a massive experience lead.
Yeah, pulling away certainly. Zealots will have a chance to maybe try and force a fight here with the Protector starting to expire soon. There it goes, expires. See if they go in for a Horrify. Nope, Zarma gets chunked a little bit too much. And he escapes away. That means 16's here for Dignitas, and Zealots have to continue to turtle up.
Yeah, they have to turtle up hard for this one, unless of course they can get a quick kill in, but JPL moving away. And Zelia still holding the healing pulse here. Snitch is moving in again. The only real thing that Zealots can do is sit tight and wait for an opportunity, and that could present itself by a good Horrify on the side of Gul'dan. So if they find an isolation, then they can use that. Outside of it, they will most likely just simply try to get 16 themselves and then fight over the next objective. And let's face it, they need to win the next one. The problem is also that there's 2 healing pulses by now on the side of Team Dignitas. One on Malfuri and then the other one on Dehaka. So that's a massive issue for long sustained fights.
Especially when you already have a Malfurion. Having in those healing packets will allow Dignitas to stay alive. Zarmany having trouble staying alive himself here. Has to kite away. Over to Shad.
They went for Tychus and couldn't confirm the kill, and they turned around against Zarmany instead then.
Abathur's getting 16 though. He's working on it. Hat in the middle lane. Soaking the top lane, even with Dehaka sharking around. 16's about to hit for Zealots. There is a turret available for grabbing. This is a choke that Team Dignitas probably does not want to move into, with Arthas and the front line of Blaze being there, and Gul'dan dropping Corruption, so go ahead and allow them to have it.
Good toxicness from ADRD as well, making sure that they have those in the bushes so that they see early on where Dehaka is moving in. But this is the 16 now. 1 level behind for the Zealots. But this is now the opportunity where they can start to turn things around a bit. First of all, we are seeing Chris on Gul'dan with 30 stacks on his Echoed Corruption, so he needs another 10 until he completes it. He has the Ruinous Affliction now on 16, which is a big, big power play, of course, especially when he completes his talent. And also with level 16, we're now having the Envenom Spikes for Abathur, and that's going to be pretty important as well. And it makes either Zarmany on Blaze or even Arthas more dangerous with Trauma Transference. Of course, survivability is also there already. But now the big question, who is going to win the next objective and who's going to get these kills? Since Dignitas won't be on 20 by the time.
And the next objective is in a really weird spot where you want to make sure that you're able to be by yourself.
Yeah.
We'll be in the bottom spot where those conveyor belts are very annoying to fight around. So we'll see if Zealots will be able to set up for that. Gul'dan in particular will have to make sure that he has prime positioning. If he gets caught in a weird position, suddenly Genji can chase him down to the mobility he has.
And talking Gul'dan, 34 stacks for him. So really important to keep an eye on it, since once he hits his quest completion, the power spike of Gul'dan is going to kick in. And that's what you want to have once this important fight is starting up.
Here we go. 15 seconds for that control point. Zealots are bringing everyone down. Blaze rotating from the top lane. Doesn't even stop in the middle lane here. Knows he has to show up. Mopsia moves it for a Howling Blast, but JPL is able to survive just fine.
Yeah, Chris looking for those quick Echo Corruption stacks. Starting to get a few more here already. 35. Mopsio is starting to make the play. Moves in onto the conveyor belts, and Dignitas is with him.
Controlling where they can. Zarmany holding the top side. Snitch and Mopsio continuing to fight over the area. Zarmany's able to move in. Howling Blast connects. There goes the jet propulsion. Snitch able to use Deflect Live.
Yeah, but also Gul'dan needs to be careful. Wubby's moving in from behind, and he's completely isolated. He's trying to go for Gul'dan here. Isolation has hit. He's still able to move away from it. Good job by Chris staying alive for this long. And now we are having Zealots in a very nice position here.
Yeah, JPO was able to get a decent mosh pit. The problem is he was on the ledge while the Rhaegar was in the conveyor belt. So the conveyor belt took Shad out of range. With Odin being popped on the top side, they're fighting over the area, but Odin finally expires.
Horrify is also still up, and Chris only needs 1 more stack to complete his quest talent. So they are starting to look at a much better position here. There's the quest completed, so now he has a lot more damage output in this situation. Using the conveyor belts actually to his advantage too. Great play, 50% already, and they are starting to close in on experience too. Very well done here.
Yep, also increasing in percentage here, up to 70. May have to back up and tap where they can. Oh, they don't have a tap, so they're going to come back to the side.
Both of the healing pulses are already used. Both of them have been used. They're moving into the middle. They're getting the hit points back there and will most likely move back down to fight for it again. I don't think they're just going to simply let this one slip. Abathar has taken the top, moves out a bit just to make sure that the Haka can't go in and take him down, and now they're making their play for the objective again.
Yeah, all they want to do there was tap. With a turret picked up, though, Dignitas gets a little bit more DPS in there, a little bit more control they can set up on those catapults, the conveyor belts. We're going to see Zarmany doing what he can to control JPL. Wubby goes to the side looking for Shad. Shad's trying to bark his way to the middle of the lane. Can he escape? He gets away.
Shad barely gets away, but now he's split. He got out, but he is split right now, and that's a massive problem. He needs to move around and try to go back in, but the copy for Abathar is up, so he can use a copy on Shad if need be and make sure that they have the heals. Mobsio popping his own ult, Luz using the ghouls, trying to go in. Here comes the Horrify, but that didn't really do too much for them. Snitch is already going in the backline as Chris is attacking him immediately. The bunker is on the ground, providing the extra armor as Poik popped Odin.
Zarmany doing his best to stay alive. JPL gets a power slide on top of Mobsio, getting healed up. ADRD helping out with the Rhaegar heal. Odin being used, though. Team Dignitas plants their foot and makes sure to fight back.
Double Rhaegar with the heals, but look at Dignitas' experience bar. They are closing in on 20, and the Zealots are willing to walk away from the fight as they realize that against the Storm Talons, it would be a rough uphill battle. So instead, it's double camps that they're taking. ADRD currently helping out Shad here with a few of the locusts, and of course a quick grab of the healing pulse by Zarmany. But the bot lane is going to be attacked. 20 is there for Dignitas. Zealots only half a level behind, but the Protector is going to be rough to deal with.
At 20, still a quarter of a level away. Chris starts to poke where he can, dropping in a few flail flames where he can get the foot damage in. Zilly helping out with the healing, and here comes the Protector.
One kill in the game. A single kill. The one thing that Zealots were able to do in every single game they played so far is to stay extremely low in deaths, and that really helped them. Right now, the 20 isn't there for the Zealots. This is where Abathar is once again has to be the guy, has to be the one who gives them their Storm Talent. He's currently trying to get the experience up at the top. Down here, Bunker saving them for now. 20 still not there. Soon, one more wave, and the Zealots will fight on even talents again.
Zelda chunking though. JPL goes in for the power slide into a mosh pit. He misses it. Horrify comes in. JPL still on that back line. Minions taking. Chris finally does fall though, as Goldan gets picked up.
Chris is down, but the keep is still there. Genji falls. That's the counter kill. And the keep is still on the ground. That's the end of ETC. He dies, and all of a sudden the Zealots are starting to move in. They have the level 20 already, and this is an opportunity to get even more kills. Isolation comes out. AD already jumping in and starts to slow Poke down. Mobsio is isolated. He doesn't see anything. He doesn't get. He still gets the Howling Blast in, and they're killing them. Down goes Tychus, and they're not stopping there. They're trying to go for Wubby. He's able to move away, but Zelia has no chance of escape. And he's delaying it with the Ice Block, but this is still going to be his demise. It's a quad kill against Team Dignitas, and the Zealots held on to their keep at the bot lane.
But they still have to make a comeback here. They have to break down the fort. This is the first fort of the game that could come down from Zealots, but at least they started to make the comeback. I know, right? Well,
you're
Zealots
such a
the
negative
fort.
Nancy.
I know, man. That's me here in 2018. They finally get the fort, though. Can they do more? They have 30 more seconds. They can get a keep wall. They're going to work on grabbing turrets. Goldan has spawns. The Zealots have to find a way to open the map, but they've hit 20 and they defend it.
Yeah, and they did it well. I mean, the 20
the
that
keep
was
is still alive.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
An entire push and a Goldan falling.
To be honest, them diving behind the keep for the kill against Chris, that was what put them in a really awkward spot. I really felt that they thought the keep would fall faster, but then the retreat was cut off by them. Now they take Wubby down.
Oh no.
Zealots with the momentum. I mean, the pain train is coming, boys, and it is hitting hard. Staggered deaths right now are an issue, and all of a sudden, Fort in the mid lane falls, Fort at the bottom falls, experience lead has been taken, Zealots control the map. They're looking for even more kills. They haven't found Genji down here, but they are actually starting to open up the bottom map, and to be honest with you, they might be able to get the keep here.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult with Odin here.
Yeah.
That's helpful. But definitely something that they want to grab here is that keep. They get the keep wall open here, so at least it's nice and exposed. Mopsio taking damage too. They step forward. They're moving in for it.
And they're going for it. Mopsio has to be careful though, and he is. And here's the bunker immediately. But also Poik still firing away with the big red button. They're going in. The keep is about to fall. ADRD losing the copy. The keep is still alive. Chris firing away. One more corruption, and there it is. That's going to be it. Keep is down. The keep is down, and they move away. Dehaka, keep in mind, can burrow in, but they can't stay close enough. So all of a sudden, Zealots are ahead. And look at that minefield.
Yep.
Whew.
If Team Dignitas went over there to go in for a flank, Zealots would be aware of it. And the first keep of the game going over to Zealots. They'll have catapult pressure on the bottom lane. Not too hard to manage here for Dignitas. They have Dehaka, and of course, the next control point will be in the middle of the map, so they can rotate a couple down if they need to. But Zealots have fought their way back.
Yeah, Zealots came in to play today, and they were like, Digni who? Like, what? These guys are undefeated? Are you serious? Easy, boys, easy. No, I mean, jokes aside, Dignitas controlling the objectives at first, but Zealots always a bit behind, never really giving up, and then the defense at the fort, the keep at the bot lane, extremely well done. They get the counter kills, 4 of them in, and this is the objective that could end it all.
For either team.
Yes, exactly. With the keep being so low at the bot lane, Dignitas could move through it. So let's see if Dignitas can muster up another big fight here. Whoopi is already half HP, and that's a problem. And the situation is not getting any better by 2 turrets already being on the ground for Zealots.
2 turrets for control. Snitch going to do his best here to clear it up. Odin has them popped as well. Dignitas will fight over the area, using big red button to clear out that wall.
The 20 on Abathur is so strong here. The hive mind is absolutely insane at this point. Finally, there's the Odin. They're starting to go in with the big red button. Already the bunker in the back. They're attempting to make a play for Arthurs. That didn't really work out. They're buying some time here, but we have a 68% lead, and there's still a fountain in the mid lane, and that's something that Dignitas doesn't have. Their fort is gone. So the tap that we're seeing from Zealots is something that Dignitas can't rely upon.
Zealots are just biding their time here, waiting for Odin to pop. And the moment it does, they'll move in, and there it goes. It goes straight for JPL, land a Howling Blast on him. He gets chunked down to half health. Genji's not here in the fight. Genji's not nearby. Gonna have Blaze coming on the right. Finally, Snitch comes over, but they are controlled on the side of the map. Dragon Blade popped.
Tychus is low. He's really low, and Mopsio is starting to move in even deeper. Snitch is attempting to help out, but Poik is in trouble. Mopsio is going for the jet propulsion from Zombie.
He's down.
Tychus is down. Team Dignitas. The mosh pit comes in, but it might have been too late. There's not enough damage. Snitch barely gets out, is followed again, about to fall, but it's ETC who dies next. This could be it. It's a double kill. What? Zealots are absolutely on fire today, and they will claim the Protector. Again, this is the first Protector that they get in the entire game. The first time that they actually decide the objective in their favor. Snitch is still sitting there. So is Whoopi and Malfurion. They're trying to get a kill, but there's no way.
Oh.
The Hawkeye is down. This has to be game. They're doing it.
Snitch called out, they saw Rhaegar there, so Whoopi came in to force a fight, but they didn't see the rest of the members here. Zealots come in and get the pick, and with no Dehaka for 50 seconds, this is looking like it could be a game. Zealots could beat Team Dignitas, the Protector, charging across the field here. They're doing everything they can to slow down the members of Zealots.
At this point, it looks really like Zealots are trying to go to the Western Clash or something. These guys are absolutely...
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. They are playing fantastic here. Zealots, 8 kills against 2. The core is about to fall. 2 heroes are still there. Bunker being used again. And Zealots have done it. Team Zealots take down Team Dignitas. The first team to beat Dignitas in a match in 2018.
And it's the Zealots.
What?
A team you did not expect to hear, but they come out in week 5 in an important moment. To go to the Western Clash, they have to win today, and they do it in decisive fashion here, a 3-1, a close fight there on the bottom of their keep, but the moment they got those kills, they brought it back pretty darn well and shut down with the level 20 composition they had. Incredible job here by Zealots. Dignitas falls, still can't believe it.
But think about how Dignitas played every single game we've seen so far in this year. They always, sometimes few teams have managed to stay even with them.
Sure.
But then there's the team fight where all of a sudden they get 1 kill, they get 2, and they snowball the fight, and they just make the perfect decisions afterwards, capitalize on the death timers as much as they can, and have all of a sudden a 2-level lead. Zealots were behind so many times by a talent on the last map. They walked away from 3 protectors and just said, all right, we're close, but we can't win here. So they always move away. They always try to get the experience. They barely hold on. And up to the fight at the bottom right, That was, I think, 17 minutes in. We had
One kill.
a single kill in the game.
Yeah.
And that was something we have seen on multiple maps here today. Absolutely impressive. The discipline that the Zealots showed today, they really stepped it up. I mean, that was impressive. That was not the Zealots that was shaky on Playday 1 and Playday 2, where they had huge problems with coordination and also being disciplined. Today, that was a fantastic performance by them.
And the Western Clash hopes for Zealots continue to stay alive. It's still a small chance. We'll have to see how Team Liquid and Tricked Esports perform over the next couple of days. But they're also in really hard matches as well. Tricked Esports taking on Method. That's going to be a hard matchup. Method right now is able to be the second best here in Europe. And then, of course, Tricked Esports and our Team Liquid having to take on Fnatic, who's another pretty good contender here in the HGC. The next couple of days just got that much more exciting if you're a Europe fan, and I can't wait to watch it unfold.
I'm just blown away by this, and I'm also a little bit sad. Because I can imagine that a lot of people looked at the first match today and were like, meh,
Yeah.
I don't have to watch that. And well, if you did and you just tuned in right now, serves you well.
Well, let's go ahead and check out this last team fight. Just to get an idea of what exactly did happen around that control point. This was after the two turrets were cleaned up. Snitch went to the bottom side to snipe that keep,
After
and that
Odin.
allowed Zealots to move in.
Look at this. Mopsio has one goal, and that is Tychus. He doesn't care about anything
He's
else.
on a warpath.
Yeah, he's absolutely on warpath. That is after Odin is off, and nobody screws with Mopsio there. He's like, Snitch, your name is on my blade. And he goes in and he just doesn't stop until Tychus is down. So from the get-go, he goes in. Everybody else tries to save him, but Tychus still falls, and the rest of the team has all the space in the world. The survivability that we had on Arthas, that we had on Blaze, especially with Abathur, was just too much. And again, they're moving away, waiting. Like, they had 68%, and they just waited out Odin and said, like, boys, just take a deep breath and move away from this. We have all the time in the world. They need way more time than the duration of Odin. Go back to the fountain, just tap real quickly. Then we wait it out, and once that they don't have Odin anymore, we just go in. And yeah, at this point, it just felt like someone told Mopsio, okay, whatever you do, dude, you have one goal. Kill the quarterback.
That's
right
all you gotta
there.
do. I knew Frostborn hungered, but I didn't realize it was that hungry for a Tychus. We do have one of the winners here. Shad coming in here for Team Zealots. Shad, you guys won against Dignitas. What is that face? Are you excited? How are you feeling right now?
I mean, of course. I don't know what happened. I guess we have Chris, the Titan Slayer. All thanks to Chris.
Yeah, well, all thanks to Chris, right? So now suddenly your guys' hopes of going to the Western Clash is still alive. A lot of people thought today would come out and get snuffed out by Dignitas. So with that in mind, what are you thinking right now? Are you going to sit here and anxiously watch the next couple of matches, or are you going to just go away from the computer for the weekend and see what happens? What are you going to do, Shad?
I'm gonna watch them for sure. I'm like, I want them to finish already. Like, I want to know.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to send you over to Calador.
Okay, so first of all, amazing play today. That was really impressive. I have one question though. On the last, I actually have a couple. Let's start with the first one. We heard ADRD talk in the interview about how he expected that, well, most likely Dignitas is gonna 3-0 us. If we can win a map, we'll of course win the map and try to see if we can do more. When was the moment when you guys all of a sudden thought we can actually win the series?
I mean, I guess after the second game, because the first one was really one-sided.
Okay. So after the second game, you guys said already, okay, if we can get our map now, we have an opportunity to take them out.
Yeah, because it was, I don't know, we played pretty well. I think our composition was really good. Probably, I think, was better than theirs. And yeah, we played super good. And I don't know how, but we beat Dignitas. I didn't expect it either. Nobody expected.
Speaking of compositions, in Game 1, you guys had a really weird composition. What was up with Li Ming and Medivh as your main damage dealers? What was the thought behind that comp?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure what do you mean, but we have practiced it already. I mean, it works. Because like we have enough wave clear with plays. Li Ming does damage. Medivh does damage as well. People usually forget that Medivh does a lot of damage. I think it's a bit weird in picks, but I think if you put everything together, it kind of has some wave clear, has potential to do picks with Muradin Liming and the Medivh portals. I think it's a fine composition. It's a bit strange, maybe.
So it's all about the resets. If you get a reset or two, you just stomp with that comp.
Yeah, getting some picks. I think we lacked getting kills.
Okay. Back over to Caldor.
That was the biggest problem.
Okay, I have one more, and that's concerning the last pick on the last map. You guys needed a support, and you were actually hesitating for a long, long time before you used Rhaegar. Were you thinking about maybe taking Lucio in that situation as well? And if you did, was it something where you as a support player said that you were more comfortable on Rhaegar, or what was the debate at that point?
I think we basically wanted to have cleanse and more healing than Uther.
Okay.
So the decision was Rhaegar because Rhaegar does more healing and has cleanse as well. Lucio doesn't, so
and
that's it, kind of. It was pretty simple. We need more healing than Uther, and we want cleanse as well. So
okay, fair enough. So you had a couple of great moments there too when you were running away with Rhaegar at the bottom fight and barely got out of it. So just wanted to highlight
or
that.
the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conveyor belt, high level plays over here from Shad. Just barely sticking out. Did you plan that?
Of course, man.
Yeah, of course
I know
did.
how. I have planned the tricks on the thingy.
It's a Jedi mind tricks.
Great play today, and yeah, really impressive. So congratulations again to you guys.
Awesome,
Thank
Shad.
you very much.
Before I let you go, of course, the floor is yours. And if you want, give a shout out to the teams that you want to beat your opponents, so you guys can make it to Western Clash. Let's hear from you.
Actually, I'm not. I don't remember
Method
who they play against.
You're a Method fan this weekend.